Mm. Well, I live in Cornwall, has got 20 minutes more light than the rest of the UK, lighter for longer in the winter especially. And solar panels don't actually require sunlight; they just require light. And of course, when you've got solar panels, you also need a battery in which to store the energy that you are generating so that it can be used when it is not light, like at night time or in the winter, especially. And I've found that there are massive barriers to entry. I started looking into this in 2009, and so I'd respond to advertisements and I would ask and I would try to navigate the process of looking into solar panels. So I had a first floor flat in London and it had a roof, and I owned the roof and the attic underneath it, and I didn't have the freehold. So, anyway, cut forward 10 years, I've started looking at it again. I live in a town, Falmouth, where there are lots and lots of roofs, and all of them could be generating electricity, particularly when you've got an energy crisis and the cost of energy has gone up. Like my utilities bill has more than doubled since the Ukraine thing started. So, anyway, I responded to some adverts, and I also saw some marketing and advertising from solar panel funding. So, first of all, you've got the difference between, the funding, government schemes, so Eco4, so the energy compliance obligation scheme, and then you've got one for off gas, so people who aren't on the gas supply thing like that. So they've got funding, and there's also a very weird thing. They give £10,000 to people on universal credit. But are people on universal credit going to outright own the building that they live in and have the freehold for that and a suitable roof with the various conditions, like in good condition, strong, south facing, etc.? Well, so basically, has anyone thought this through? So, a lot of these companies I've found out are just going after the low hanging fruit. They just want it's pretty much the 1%. They want the people who own a whole building, but they don't say it in their advertising because they just want the quick, easy, uncomplicated jobs. So basically, they just narrow it down to: do you own the building? Do you have the freehold? And what they could do is use a flowchart. Do you this? Yes. Do you know? No. Right. And so the people who know could then be signposted off. But of course, they don't want to signpost them off to their competition. They just want to take the quick, easy jobs. And I almost had the phone put down on me when I basically said I lived in a flat because they didn't want to work with people who live in flats, freehold or no freehold, roof or no roof. So I found, various people advertising, they put homeowner, tick, roof, tick, but what they don't say is whole building, tick, because they don't want to look quite like the greedy scoundrels that I actually think they are. So, if you're looking to get solar panels and you live in a flat, and Falmouth is full of flats, it's got a student population. And the thing is, if you have solar panels and a battery, you've broken even in about, let's say, 8 years. Because I know someone who's got solar panels on their house, and they got managed to make enough money back from their utility costs to then get a battery, and they broke even after 8 years. So you're looking at under 10,000 for the installation, and that includes the battery. And you pay a service charge to your utility provider. And there's one source of electricity coming into each building. So therefore, you need to work with your neighbours. Now, if you are in a block of like 6 flats or more, there is a scheme to provide electricity through solar panels to that. So great big solar panels on top. There's one entry into the building, and then you're able to work out, like, so say one person pays the bill So they pay the service charge and that kind of thing. And then the others pay them in order to get the electricity. And it would require like a scheme that's not really been set up, but I'm investigating into this with a really good engineer that I found in Cornwall. So it's not an agency who basically is just getting the low hanging fruit. You own the building, you have a freehold, you have a roof, and then basically just farming it out and taking the cut, taking the money. These people aren't actually the people who do the work. They're not actually the ones who set up the electric vehicle thingy outside. They're not actually the people who put the panels on your roof or the panels in your garden. So those are all the things that they do. They're the people who basically are marketing solar panels, and they're just at the very beginning of this market. I mean, it's been struggling to get off its arse since the noughties. It's just that there's such a bottleneck from the lack of information, the lack of a route map. I'm looking to find a route map. Why is no one watching this? Come on. LNG, energy, cheap energy. Anyway, obviously what you want is an installer who's really good and really knows this thing, and they sort out, how the electricity gets into the house, how it comes from the battery, and how it gets distributed to the 2 flats that are in the building. And then basically you're looking to work with your neighbour, which isn't outside the realms of possibility. And basically, so you'd pay the service charge to the utility provider. There'd be one source of electricity coming into the house, and then your neighbours would pay a reduced rate for their utilities. So that's a really good thing. So you're not able to make advantage of the funding. So it is like a personal investment. So it's like where you've actually got the money and you work with your neighbours. And so going to a guy in Cornwall, based in St Austell, who does the work, and he's called Jessops, and his website is whether no, I haven't got it up. Right. I'm just going to navigate quickly to the bar where here he is. It's called Wired by Jessops. I've not been paid for him. This is just absolutely because I think in an energy crisis with the cost of everything right now, that having solar panels, especially in Cornwall where we've got all that light, would be a really good thing. I think it would be a really good thing. So basically just to ease this, because a lot of these people advertising, I just get so many adverts on social media, and what they are not asking, and they're wasting their time and they're wasting my time, is, are you in a flat? You're not eligible. We can't help you. We can't put you forward for anything. So I've found these people, and they're called Wired by Jessops. And if you're in Cornwall, they're in St Austell, and I'll not allowed to put the website in the description. So wiredbyjessops.co.uk/contact, and the guy is called Joseph. So anyway, I am watch this space because I'm looking to invest in solar panels, and when Joseph comes to give me a quote, the neighbour also wants in. So it raises the value of a property. And even though they're a first floor flat, the fact that they are linked up to getting solar energy, then they are going to benefit, and it will benefit the price of their property. Anyway, so I'm going to be digging more into this. But if you see all these people, there's solar panel funding. That's the official government thing. Pretty much put the phone down on me and said, is there anything else I can help you with? Can't work with you. You're not eligible. There's the money saving expert guide, and important things to understand about the smart export guarantee. You've got all these things. So look at moneysavingexpert.com/utilities/free-solar-panels. They've got a good thing. And then you've got solar-sherpa.co.uk. They actually talk about like mistakes that people make when they're looking for solar panels. And one of the red flags you shouldn't ignore The market's exploded, but unfortunately, legislation and regulatory standards haven't kept pace. So there are dodgy companies there. They're running amok, and homeowners are literally paying the price, a very steep price at that: money, time, and in some cases, safety. They will promise you the world, but reality will be anything but. Protect yourself, your home, your pocketbook. Get quotes from trusted and safe solar installers. That's exactly what I am doing. So, anyway, yeah, so installers, not these agencies that are just taking the low hanging fruits. They're basically blocking loads and loads of roofs and gardens from getting this natural source of energy, because we all use so much lecky these days, don't we? We've got all the parasitic loads. You just got all your things plugged in, and they're all on standby. And you've got your cooker, and you got the this, and you got the whizzer, and you got the soup maker, and you got the air fryer, and you got all of this stuff, right? And so you need to have a good source of energy and a battery. And so watch this space, and I will keep updating you. So